Hey, it is Andy with the FensePost indie music and vinyl blog, and I am continuing to unbox, review, and share my entire collection. Today, I am excited because I have Carolyn Rose's brand new album, The Art of Forgetting. And this is not just any pressing. This is the collector's edition, vinyl, limited one-time pressing, lenticular three-dimensional cover, audiophile 45 RPM on clear wax. Before we begin, down in the description you will find a link to my review on my music blog FensePost, where you can see the music videos that I talk about in this album and hear some of my spotlight tracks. You can also find a link to where you can get this special limited edition copy for yourself, as well as some of the other versions that, well, frankly, don't cost nearly as much. Let's get started. So I've been listening to Carolyn Rose for years now, and it's been really cool to watch them transform, not just as a musician, but as a person. And with their 2023 release, The Art of Forgetting, we certainly get that. Each new album by Rose, technically it's almost like every other, has been distinctly different from the ones that came before. This evolution has pushed them forward as an artist in very new and, well, extremely exciting ways. Their earliest works versus 2013 and 2014, which were America Religious and I Will Not Be Afraid, respectively, they were infused with undoubtedly folk and country. When Rose reemerged in 2018 and 2019 with, again, respectively, Loner and Superstar, their music was cemented in indie rock and indie pop, heavy synths, all that kind of stuff. While both were particularly stunning, the latter, with its kind of new disco-infused synth pop, was particularly great. And it saw Rose having a bit of a reckoning with the newfound pseudo-underground fame that Loner had spurned. That brings me to The Art of Forgetting. If Superstar was a self-reflective reckoning, The Art of Forgetting takes that concept and multiplies it tenfold. The pandemic saw most people withdrawing, reflecting, and coming to terms with things they simply never had the time to address in the past, let alone face at all. We're still in the midst of a creative outburst that the worldwide event sparked, and The Art of Forgetting is steeped in it from the first note. On it, Rose tackles fear and trauma and sense of self and their identity and transformation. It's here on this album they adopt the they-them pronouns for the first time. And if Loner and Superstar moved Rose into a sort of sardonic pop maturity, The Art of Forgetting flips that on its head for some really brutal fucking truths. Everything you love, it's all gonna die. Now go out and start living the rest of your life. That's what Rose sings on closing track, Where Do I Go From Here? In Miami, they sing, You know you never knew my worth, honestly, neither did I. I'm gonna stop here for a second because Miami, when I first listened to it, it didn't really strike me. But the more I listened, the more I dug into that song. I watched the music video for it. I watched its companion piece, which I'll talk about in a moment. It blew me away. I didn't think it was that emotional. It just didn't quite grip me. It does now. It is extremely powerful. It is extremely emotional. It is extremely, extremely good. All right. As a whole, the album is highly emotional, even in the moments where it doesn't sound that way. And Miami is a perfect example. Not convinced? Like I said, take a look at the music videos for Miami and tell me what you want. Seriously, watch them back to back. It's a heart-wrenching experience, and paired together, the two are a gripping tale of rejection, heartbreak, mental anguish, and just all of that stuff festering up and spiraling you into, well, something. Back to the beginning. Love, Lover, Friend opens the album with depth and agility. Where the synth was the most forefront part, in Superstar, Rose introduces us to a pretty intense orchestration here, and it's something they highlight throughout The Art of Forgetting. Then there's The Kiss, where Rose seems to find their sense of self elsewhere on the album. They let go of some of that here. They sing, "For the kiss, I would do most anything." It's a powerful song addressing loneliness and isolation, longing and emptiness, and where they seem to find their sense of self elsewhere. Here, they convey the opposite, that they would be willing to give up some of that just for the kiss. It's kind of a statement that is indicative of our culture, how we give up our sense of self for a sense of completeness, which is almost a misnomer. The Art of Forgetting is the most personal work from Rose yet, and in looking inward, they communicate some extremely hard truths about us all, individually and as a society. Rose, well, they seem to don a mask on their previous albums, the ones that sparked more attention in their direction. Loner, Superstar. There's sarcasm, wit, self-deprecation. The albums were infused with those things. Here, though, on The Art of Forgetting, they shed that mask for the first time, and they face us as themselves in an extremely raw and vulnerable way. The Art of Forgetting is already among my favorite collective new albums of 2023, in a year already teeming with great albums. I mean, you've got the new Brian Jonestown Massacre, which many have hailed as Anton Newcomb's best work since his debut 20 frickin' albums ago. From 1995. Methadone. Then you've got This Stupid World by Yo La Tengo. I mean, collectively, that album is freaking brilliant. Hell, even there's the new LP by the New Pornographers, which is likely to be their best since 2007's The Challengers. The Art of Forgiving gives them all a run for their money. I have no qualms making a prediction. This will not only go onto my year-end list, it'll probably be pretty damn high up there at that. What do you think of Carolyn Rose's new album? Let me know in the description below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time because I am nowhere near done reviewing my entire collection.